First, though, tonight, and I mentioned this, the election Mediscare campaign 10 weeks ago that saw millions of Australians fall for a stunt so blatantly false that we should all now feel pretty stupid. At the start of that campaign that saw Labor returned to government with a massive majority, the Prime Minister, almost on day one, and presumably acting out some rehearsed campaign theme, pulled out his own little green Medicare card and uttered these words: "All you should need to see a doctor for free in Australia is your Medicare card, not your credit card." Here he was time and time again. Now, the first time I saw it, I thought, here we go again. Another election, another Medicare scare campaign. Surely no one will fall for that a second time. Well, how wrong was I? I mean, anyone who's been to the doctor in many places around Australia know that finding a bulk billing practice that doesn't have a gap payment you make up yourself is about as hard as the Prime Minister getting a meeting with Donald Trump. But there he was all over the country, Anthony Albanese, promising this falsehood that only he can get you free time with the GP, and he went further, suggesting another lie, that Peter Dutton, the opposition leader, was planning to, quote, cut bulk billing off at the knees, and that a coalition government would, quote, dismantle Medicare. I mean, it was a disciplined display of political bastardry, and Albanese knew he was making stuff up, but clearly many naive Australians actually wanted to believe this stuff, and did. Well, fantasy always has a way of coming crashing back to earth. The Australian newspaper on page one today called out the reality of that political spin. They reveal that nearly 25% of doctors, 1 in 4 clinics, doctors' clinics, will not take up the Medicare bulk billing incentive. And who says so? Well, surprise, surprise, the Department of Health. Yes, the bureaucrats who run the department have sent that assessment to the Minister of Health, Mark Butler. Now, if I take you back to last February, 3 months before the election, Labor announced it would spend $8.5 billion of your money to deliver 18 million more GP visits a year. I mean, see how those figures, they just slide off the tongue. These people can say anything they like to get elected, but can they deliver once back in office? Well, the public servants, written on paper, say it's not going to happen. The devil was always in the detail. The funding was to be spread over 4 years and aimed, remember that word, aimed, to deliver bulk billing rates of 90% by 2030. Well, that's after 2 more elections, so we can keep this fantasy idea running through until then, I presume. These pesky public servants, by the way, were also telling some home truths like how bulk billing services had, wait for it, halved in the past 3 years, down to 26% of all clinics. So much for the little green card. I'd suggest very clearly you don't throw away that credit card just yet.